somebody in the van today. He hadn't been in there for a long time. Look at this guy. Rocco! You ready to work? Let's go check this thing out and see what's happening. Rocky, you ready? Say hi.
Hi.
Rocky, are you the oldest or the youngest?
Youngest.
Youngest. How does it feel to be the youngest?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
How does it feel to be the oldest?
I'm not the oldest.
But you're the youngest. So how does it feel to be the youngest?
Good.
Good. Well, we really appreciate you. What do you know about air conditioning? Do you know anything about it at all? Yeah. What's the one thing that, if someone was to ask you, hey, tell me something about air conditioning, what's the first thing you think of?
I don't know.
You think of a house being cooled or heated? Air conditioning, right? The air being conditioned in the house. What do you think the biggest problem is with air conditioning? Let's make a guess.
Capacitor?
Tell them?
Capacitors?
Yep. Capacitors are the biggest problems. We get more capacitor calls than anything in the air conditioning world. Capacitors going out. They're the biggest issue. So what do we check when we go out and do inspections?
Capacitors?
Capacitors. Very important, right? How old are you, Rocky?
9.
How old do you want to be one day? You want to be 10? That's awesome. You ready to go to work? Come on, somebody. Yep, let's go. Sometimes you just have to tell people hi. Alright, so what we have here is a 10 SEER heat pump system, and this unit here is not coming on. So the inside unit's calling. Filters clean, blower motor's running, but we have nothing happening outside. So we're gonna get some tools. Let's take this thing apart. Show them this unit here. We're gonna take this thing apart, Rocco, and we're gonna see what's happening. Okay? All right, let's go. All right, Rocky, where are we going?
To the unit?
You want to see what's going on? What do we got here? What do we got in your hand?
A drill and something to check the voltage and stuff with it.
Okay. And what is this?
Gauges.
Gauges? Let's go check this thing out, man. See what's happening. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna see why we don't have voltage. We'll check for high voltage and low. Alright, first thing we're going to do is look at this inside here. We're looking for burnt wires, things like that. And I don't see any burnt wires. But I also don't see here a contactor pushed in. So what I like to do is just go ahead and push it in for a brief second and see what happens. Okay, so by pushing it in, we can see that our condenser fan motor bearings are pretty free and the compressor kicked on. So we need to check for low voltage here. So we're going to come over here. We're going to check on the coil side for voltage, and as you can see here, we have 0 coming to the contactor. Okay, so next we want to see if we've got low voltage coming in. So we've got letters here. We've got a Y and a C here, so it's yellow and brown. We're going to check for voltage coming in. Do we have any? Huh? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. All right, so that means we are not getting low voltage coming from the inside to the outside. So the inside thermostat or air handler is not telling this unit to come on. But if you look down here and notice something. Hot. Remember that's hot, right? So we're going to look at the integrity. Of this low voltage line. Sometimes you can move it around. Nope. Let's look under here and see if we see any yellow jackets under here. Any nest? Do you see anything? Nope. Okay. I'm going to further investigate this low voltage. We'll check it here at the wire nuts next. So what we want to do is just follow it down the line. That's how we do our troubleshooting. There you go. We're going to come over here between Y. Here. Don't have anything there. Don't have anything there. So, looks like we've had some craziness here. Do we have any broken wires? I don't know. So here's some bare wire here. Down in here, you can see the bare wire. You see that? You see that bare wire? Exposed wire. Man. And there's no slack from inside. Let's go double check inside. So our low voltage in here doesn't seem to be junctioned. So we're really looking for breaks, anything like that. I don't see anything. Look at the rear. Okay, so we do have voltage coming from the thermostat. And could be a broken wire. Okay, so could be a broken wire. So we're gonna go see if we can pull some slack out. May have to replace a wire, thermostat wire. We'll find out. Okay, so we're gonna see if we can pull some slack. I gave it some slack. Okay, we could pull a little bit. Okay. Just kind of take a look at this line. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is cut right here, and we're gonna splice the wire, and then we're gonna restart the unit. So I'm gonna go shut off the breaker, because the inside unit's what gives power to the outside thermostat wire or control voltage, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, okay, baby. All right, so we'll cut that right there, and we're using down here. This is the wire colors we're using: yellow, blue for reversing valve, red for power, and what color is that? Is that brown? Looks like a brown for common. So let's splice this guy. So we're gonna, I know a lot of people don't like to do it like this, but you might break a wire. You just gotta be gentle. Be gentle. Okay, so now we are going to grab those same color wires that are being used here. We're going to grab our red, our blue, our yellow, and I think that's a brown right there. We'll take these other wires. Actually, it doesn't even have so it doesn't have defrost hooked up for some reason, probably because there's a short in the low voltage. Sometimes that's what happens. So we're going to splice these now, and we're going to see if we're getting voltage. We're going to go turn on the power inside. We're going to check for voltage throughout the whole thing. We want to be careful not to ground out these wires, so leave it like that. I'm going to go inside and turn on power. So I've got power turned on right now, and you can see we have 0 volts, 0 point. So we're going to check between ground or common and red. See if we get anything. Yep, see, we got 27 volts. Let's check between common and Y. Uh-oh. We don't have anything. So sometimes, if they don't want to run a new wire, you can grab another wire. Just keeping it simple. So you can also disconnect the wires from inside also, and then ohm them out, so you can close these together and figure out which one is shorted or broken. Which one is broken? There you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside, and we're going to wire this one, the green, to the Y, and see how that works. And remember, this is just temporary. Okay, so we've applied power to green. Now we're going to check it to common. Let's see what we got. So we'll go to common again. Actually, we're going to go to, I'm sorry, common and green. There we go. So there, now we have our 24 volts. So we're going to use this green because they don't want to replace the wire. But we're still going to recommend that they replace the wire. So that's just a kind of a simple way to do it. If you've got multiple wires, just select another one. And it's a simple way to go. Look, the perfect fit is to replace that wire completely to prevent other low voltage issues. But I just grabbed the green instead of the yellow. So we're going to cut off the yellow, just like that. And now we're going to go get some wire and we're going to disconnect this so you can see how I'm going to disconnect here. We're disconnecting this wire here because this thermostat wire is no bueno right here. So you can see they've already done repairs and stuff, so we're getting rid of that piece right there, and we are going to do a junction. Okay, so let's go get some thermostat wire. Alright, so we've got our wire, our other piece of thermostat wire. We're going to attach it right there with the existing. Here, we got the power off. Then we're going to run a little piece of conduit and some zip ties just to keep the dog away from this thing, from chewing it up again. So let's get going. The wire nets, okay. So we're going to go pretty much color for color on here. So we do color for color. We're going to go blue to blue. Just like so. And that is acting a little funny. There we go. And we'll go about it just like. Now we're going to shove this guy through our conduit. Alright, you'll see it come out through here. There it is, right there. So we'll grab it, like so. Okay. Okay. So we're going to shove that in that hole there. Just like that. And then we're going to pull that over. Just like that. And we're going to zip tie it to hold it in place right now. Again, this is temporary, but here it is. Now we're going to wire. Good. Now we're going to wire nut here our wires together. And we're going to crank it on. All right, Rocky. You're doing such a good holding the phone. Good job. Holding the camera. All right, so here we are. So the dog can't chew through this. I mean, I guess he could, but he's not going to want to. We've got it wire nutted in. Let's see if this thing kicks on. Rocky, what happened?
It kicked on.
Huh?
It kicked on.
It kicked on. Look at that. That's what we want. So now we need to make sure it's in cooling because it is a heat pump. It's got a reversing valve, right? Yep. Your suction line is cold. Small high side line or liquid line is warm. So let's get a Let's get a charge level. Make sure refrigerant's right. Tie on our blue line. Here. So now we're gonna, our pressure's pretty low. We're gonna give it a minute. We're looking at this number right there. Not this one. Gonna let that go. I'm gonna select our refrigerant. R22. Woo, it's pretty low. So our superheat, man, we're gonna let it run a little bit, but man, it looks like our superheat is at 69 degrees. We know 5 to 25 is what we're looking for. Man, that's severely low. That thing is severely low. So we'll do a leak search inside. All right, so we added refrigerant to the system. Now we're, suction line starting to get cold. This is an old R22, so we're going to be looking at really the superheat. There's no TXV, anything like that. So our pressures are way different now. We've got 62, fluctuating. We're at 35 on our superheat. We're going to add a little bit more refrigerant, and then I'll show you what we got. Perfect, that's what we want right there. We're removing heat. Excuse me. We're removing heat right now. That's what we want. Everything sounds good for a 2008. Looks like a 2008. We're at 2006. Is that a 2006, son? No, that's a 2000. What was I thinking? So it's doing good for 25 years old. So our coil's leaking. Right towards the bottom right. All right, there you have it. It's running, it's cooling, it's doing what it's supposed to do. 25-year-old 10 SEER heat pump. Still running. Still purring like a kitten. Although it needs help. It's kind of like an engine that's got a rear main seal leak. It's leaking oil everywhere. You got to add a quart every week. Pretty much what this is like. But still runs like a 350 engine, right? Still running. Chevy. Well, Ethan. Rocky. What do you think about this, son? It's good? You love this, son? It's good to help somebody out.